So I've been on the runway project for approximately 11 years now, so a fairly long time. It's been a really enjoyable job. I think I've been really fortunate to have been able to be on the project from all the way from planning through to design and construction. So for myself, it's a big personal milestone to actually see all the effort from everyone that's been involved over the years coming to fruition and seeing it all before us. So very exciting, and it's quite satisfying actually. So over the last 8 years, we've really been focused on the construction of the infrastructure. What we've done is broken the entire job into a number of packages. We did that mainly because of the long duration needed to build the job. So the initial package was a civil enabling works, so that really focused on the drainage that was needed to facilitate construction and also on some of the key site access into the site. We also needed to make changes to the 1432, our smaller cross runway. Basically, we had to make room for the new parallel runway. So that was our enabling job. We then moved on to the dredging and reclamation. So that was a fairly large job to actually bring the sand from Moreton Bay necessary to surcharge and fill our site. We then had to have a fairly long period of time to allow the site to settle and consolidate. So some parts of the site have settled 2.5 metres plus, and that was necessary to make a stable platform to build the infrastructure on. We then went through a very detailed design period to make sure we considered all aspects of the runway and taxiways, make sure it would satisfy BAC's needs. And then we finally embarked on the construction of the infrastructure itself that you see before us, and that was the 148 weeks.
Skyway was employed as the principal contractor to perform the construction works associated with the new runway and associated taxiways, services, drainage and lighting. Today is a day that gives us great satisfaction and pride in having achieved the completion of the project slightly ahead of time and on budget, which is a great outcome for a job that's been running for us for 3 years. The job's had its issues, but we've worked through them collaboratively and had some really good outcomes through that process.
So another critical component to get ready for 12th of July when the first plane lands is what we call our operational readiness and testing period. What is involved in the operational readiness and testing is updating our entire system, all our documents to integrate the requirements of the new parallel runway. So currently all our documents will show our existing system. We need to make changes to maps, we need to make changes to descriptions, we need to upscale all our standard procedures to make sure we're catering for the new runway. So what we've been busily doing over the last period of time is updating those documents to make sure they reflect what we see before us. We're now transitioning into a phase where we're going to test those procedures. So as of next week, we'll be out on site in full force, Brisbane Airport, and we're testing our procedures to make sure they work. If we think we can do a runway inspection within a certain amount of time, we're going to test to make sure we can do it. This is obviously the best environment to do it in because it's not yet live and operating. So we can really get a good opportunity to test them, get confident, and then we can be sure for 12 July when the first plane lands that we're ready to safely operate this part of the airfield.
Undertaking a project of this scale, working on a site that's over 300 hectares, employing almost 4,000 people, whether they be client, contractor, designer, takes an awful lot of coordination and cooperation, and it's testament to all parties, Brisbane Airport Corporation, BMD, CPB and Jacobs the designer, that they were willing to do so in such a professional and respectful manner when we did face challenges. We can't pretend there was never a challenge on the project. There's too many to go into perhaps, but they've always been dealt with in the right way to give us this outcome today, and everyone should be extremely proud and satisfied with the outcome.